Superman and Lois Season 3, Episode 4. We are well on our way into the season now. Things still haven't picked up to be who the big bad's gonna be. They're saying it's Bruno, but because we introduced him so early, it doesn't feel like he's gonna be the big bad. I don't know, it's kind of fun. This episode in particular, I had a lot of fun with. It was really nice to see them stray away a little bit more from the whole Lois's cancer storyline. There are key moments where things like that happen. Clark and Jordan are putting out a forest fire. Lois slips at home and he rushes to go protect her. And it's nice to see that she is willing to be fragile at times, but isn't going to let that diminish her. Very Lois Lane. I'm still somebody who's not convinced on this whole cancer arc for the character. I don't get it. I think there's something to be said about doing that. I don't know if this is the show to really make that work. I think they can maybe stick the landing. It's really weird. I think they could make it work, but I'm still convinced she's getting powers because what a weird idea for the third season. Because if this is the final season, that's going to be a weird way to end it, with Lois either beating cancer or succumbing to it. Interesting just to deal with that. There's no real central enemy of this episode in terms of like Superman's gonna fight somebody. It's very Clark focused, which is kind of cool. The kids take a little more center stage, and the Langs take a little more center stage, and John Henry takes a little more center stage. He has a lot to do in this episode. The main conflict comes with him because he learns that the John Henry of this Earth was actually using the tech that he built and selling it to Bruno Mannheim and Intergang. So he wants to go confront Bruno and his sister of this Earth about that. He goes to confront his sister, and it's done in like a really cool way because she has a huge panic attack the moment he shows up. Which, I mean, I think that's accurate, If your brother was dead, or your sibling of any kind, and then suddenly one person that looks exactly like them just walked up to you and said, "Hey, I'm not your brother, but I am him from another world. We were really close. I need you to tell me why I died here." I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Quit scaring me. That's insane. You're an insane person. Get out of my house. That's crazy. But like, I really like that tension. And she's like, okay, I can buy that because I've seen Bizarro and like the whole Bizarro world, but you look like him. I don't want to deal with this. So she's just like, hey, he was selling to stuff. He came back from the war. Nothing was really working for him. Bad apple, just kind of fell into the wrong crowd. The crowd being Bruno Mannheim. And that is when John Henry Irons is like, well, I guess I should confront this guy. He's gearing up to do some big play to take him down. They find him first. Bruno Mannheim has another conversation where he's talking to one of our super friends. A couple episodes ago, he talked to Superman. Now he's talking to Steel, and he's like, dude, I know exactly who you are. You say you're from a different world. Sure. Makes sense to me. Why don't you stop sniffing up the tree that the former guy was doing and, well, you'll survive while he didn't. That kind of thing. But that is not what John Henry's about. We also see that Bruno Mannheim captured his sister, so he has to go save her in a really cool scene where he jumps out a window, puts on the steel suit, and flies to save the day. Like that a lot. You're going to have Steel in here, give him something to do. It makes sense. He's been not sidelined, but like an essential part of the season without actually doing much, but this is giving him an active story to play where he's not just like assisting. This is about him now. It's about his own death, and that's a cool area to explore. I like that stuff for the episode. Not my favorite stuff for the episode, because this season is so bizarre. So the Langs and the Cortezes have like their own story going on because Sarah was slapped by Lana last episode, and Lana's trying to make it better, trying to fix it somehow. Who knows where Sophie is? It doesn't matter. There is a scene where they are all together at a diner. Where the fuck is Sophie? Does she have a life compared to you people? Why do we pretend Sophie exists if we're not going to have her in an episode? I don't understand. What was the crucial moment that we needed Sophie in here? If we're not going to use her, why are we pretending? I don't get it. Nonetheless, Sarah goes to save her father for a bit. He's just living like a bachelor, of course. Kyle's my favorite character. He talks to his daughter just about like why she was hit and how all that stuff was bad, thinking Lana was, just stepping out of line without actually getting upset. And this is where Lana reveals to him, hey, you know what she was doing? She was blaming me for your affair. And Kyle, being the best character in the show, was like, that is not true. It's because I'm a terrible person, taking the blame. My boy Kyle makes mistakes and atones for them. He's a good guy. He's trying hard. We all deserve a Kyle in our life. Just a guy like this trying to be good. Sometimes it's not working. So his daughter lied to him. He doesn't like that. Lana tried to defend him. He's like, I appreciate that. I don't need you to defend me. I will figure this out myself. And they have a nice conversation as a family about what they're going to try to do to fix things. Cool. Good small arc for those characters, I suppose. Makes sense. We do get some more like emotional moments, how Lana doesn't want to be like her mother given the things that her mother did. You're like, wait, what did her mother do? Did we ever talk about that? Was she abusive or something? We also know that Lana was the one that found Sarah when she tried to take her own life. And I'm like, oof. We are playing with some dark themes. Okay. That family is scary. And it goes into another theme of the episode because Jonathan gets hit in the face by Candace's father. Straight up punches him right in the eye. Okay. This character, I don't understand this characterization of Candace's father. He's just like the only guy in this town that seems like he's like a redneck. It's a small town of a bunch of people, but he's just like a grummy loser dweeb boy. So he punches John, I should say, after John's like, you're a bad father. Just punches him. He comes home. They don't really want to bother their mother with their problems, but she's like, you have to tell me if somebody is hurting you. And we get the best part of this episode. Twice in a row, two things happen in this episode that are fantastic and just make me happy and smile. I love every second of it. First one, Lois goes to defend her boys. So fucking awesome. I love it. She just storms up to the front door. He pulls a gun out and threatens her, and she's like, really? That's what you're gonna do, you little coward boy? You come at me, I'll come at you. Amazing. I love it because that is such a Lois thing. Forget about my health. I'm gonna go yell at this guy for threatening my son. I love it. I love it. I love the boys staying at the back by the car while she goes up to defend them. It's amazing. You think that's great? It gets better later on in the episode because Clark was off dealing with his own issues at that moment. He comes back and sees, wait, who hit you? I know who hit you. Is that guy? Okay, I'm going to go threaten Candace's father. He goes to the diner where the Cortez and Langs are having a nice little dinner. And he's as Clark, and the entire diner is watching him just like defend his sons and his wife. Just socks the guy around for a bit. The guy tries to hit him. It doesn't work. He knocks him down, scares him out of the restaurant, and everyone's like, damn. And Kyle, I love Kyle. He's just like, damn, Kent. And he's smiling the whole time like, this big jar of jam's actually worth something. Oh, it made me so happy. So we had Mommy Lois and Daddy Clark defending their kid's honor. What more do you want in life? I think that's great. It also means Candace is coming to stay with them for a bit, which is okay, because she hates her father and doesn't want to go home, because the father is running to another county or something, scared of Clark. One guy threatened you and you run away? You stole a truck, dude. I'm sure you'd be used to a little bit of hassle, but I guess not. Clark's a big boy. I love it. I love that Kyle wants to step in and defend Clark, but Lana pushes him away. Kyle's a good guy. Kyle's a good guy. I've been saying it since the first episode. Kyle is trying, and that's all you can do. He's a decent bloke. So yeah, Candace is going to stay with them. Are we going to have some kissing moments? Maybe. Wouldn't be surprised if we get there, but Jordan had his own little adventure because he was going to hang out with his grandpa for a bit. But his grandpa's like, look, we captured this surveillance of you flying to stop this fire, and that is clearly your hair, so you're cutting it. And I was like, are we going to have the actor actually cut his hair for this role? Because I would be surprised if he did. I can't picture that dude without the big mop. So I don't know how that would look, but we're not actually going to shave his head. We're not actually going to give him a nice trim. Instead, we're just going to give him a suit. And it is a comic book accurate suit of some kind. It's got like the black headpiece with the big black goggles. And I'm going to guess we're going to put a cape on it or something. There is, I can't remember like what book it's from, but yes, it is inspired from a comic book. So Jordan is slowly building up to his own costume. Cool. I get it. You kind of have to do that. When they first were talking about it, I was like, oh shit, are they going to give him like the Eradicator goggles? I don't know why my mind went there, but it's like, no, I guess like the small flight suit works just as well. Interesting moment. Like, everyone kind of has something to do. It's dealing with a lot more like small town, like broken family themes than I expected for this show. But I guess that's kind of like what you want to do. Comic books are inherently like a long-running soap opera, so family drama, cancerous storylines, you know, evil twins in essence of John Henry and like the twin coming back to the world. It's something to play with. I can't hate it for doing that. It just has fun with itself. And that's kind of exciting. Who knows where we'll go next? Probably to the hospital where Lois is going to go undercover while getting treatment so they can understand what Bruno Mannheim's doing. But he is well aware of their plans. He's not the big bad, right? We know Lex is coming this season, but there surely is something else that they're working on, right? I think so, at least. It can't just be that. Because that's not much of anything. He hasn't done much of anything. But that is going to do it for this review of Superman and Lois. Now, thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.